Today let us study social science that ruling the countryside. So first of all try to understand that the Britishers they came to India that time they got permission. Which permission they got? They got the permission Diwani right. What is Diwani right? Diwani right means the right to collect tax from Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. This much time Britishers they find money from their homeland, from Britain to buy the raw materials from India, like colonies like India. But later on what happened is that they get a revenue from India. When the Britishers they get a revenue from India, that time they no need to depend from their homeland. So that they will get a revenue from India itself. They got the right, which right? Diwali right. What is Diwali right? The right to collect tax from Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. So that from that they will get that income. That income can be utilized for buying the raw materials. Which are the raw materials? They force the Indians to cultivate they forced commercial crops in India. Britishers they forced the Indians to cultivate commercial crop rather than food crops. What is the difference between food crops and commercial crops? Food crops are the crops that can be for our consumption, for our use. We can call it as food crops. But these commercial crops, it means that these raw materials that can be collected for the industries, so that from that industries it can be make it as finished product, finalized goods. So they make London as their finalized goods, finalized point as their London as considered as their finalized point to make it from the factories that may change it as finished products and sell in the same market where in India itself. From India they collect the raw materials, cotton, jute, these kinds of things they will collect from India. Then it from England the factories are there, that factories that they make it as finished products, then it is sell in India itself at a high rate. At a high rate they can sell in India. So they consider India as the best market. India is considered as a market to get raw materials from India and to sell their products at a high rate. So at a high rate. So they consider India as a colony or a market. So here in 1765, you know that Mughal Emperor gave the right, the Britishers had the right to collect the Diwani right, that was given. So that the Britishers they collected the revenue. So that income, that revenue is that is sufficient for them to buy the raw materials from India. So later on they appointed the Britishers. They were not familiar with the local people. So the local peoples, their language, Britishers they were not familiar with the language of the local people. You know that local peoples, their language, tribal language, their language, Britishers they don't know this language. So they appointed Jamindars. So Jamindars they were in connection with the local peoples, so that they can collect the taxes rather than collecting by the Britishers. So they appointed Jamindars. Jamindars they can go and collect the taxes from the peasants. From the peasants, they can collect the taxes. After collecting the taxes, they can send it. They can give to the Britishers. So Britishers consider the Jamindars. They were the intermediaries. Who were the intermediaries? Jamindars. They were considered as the intermediaries in between the British and the peasants or the farmers. So the Britishers they can approach the local leaders or local peoples. They can go and approach and collect taxes from these local peoples or the peasants or the farmers or the common people. Then they can give this to the Britishers. But the Jamindars they were considered as intermediaries. They exploited the poor peasants. Britishers their intention was to collect a tax with the help of Jamindars. But Jamindars they utilize their power, they misuse their power. Who misuse their power? Jamindars they misuse their power. They collect money from huge amount from the peasants, from the farmers, and they gave less amount. Some money they kept in their own pocket, and after the balance amount they pay to the Britishers. So Moreover, these people, the farmers, they were not educated. They were not aware about how much tax they want to give, how much the British government want, how much of tax they don't know. So they gave money as per the instruction of the Jamindar. So that what happened is Jamindars in between the peasants and the Britishers, they collected some amount and they kept their own pocket, and balance will be given to the Britishers. So later on, the powers and privileges of the Jamindars increased. We know that the powers and privileges of the Jamindars that increased. So that Britishers, they were keenly observing about the influence of these Jamindars. They understood that Jamindars, they were exploiting the poor peasants or farmers. They understood this thing, and moreover, the Jamindars, their power increased because they had a connection with the local people. Britishers, they did not have any connection with the local people, so that the Jamindars, they had a connection with the local peoples. So when these powers and privileges of these Jamindars increased, that time Britishers understood that the Jamindars, they were exploiting the poor peasants. So they understood the situation and they withdraw these Jamindars, or they will be removed, or Jamindars were removed from the power. So Jamindars lost power, and that time so the Britishers decided another plan that we can call it as Mahalwari system. They appointed village headman instead of Jamindar. They appointed village headman to collect the taxes. So village headman, they can go directly with the peoples, because the village headman is the head of that village, and village headman had a connection with the peoples. So that the village headman can do one thing. This village headman can collect a tax from the peoples, and the people will willingly give tax to village headman, because there will be a link between the village headman and the people, so that village headman can collect the tax from the peasants or the farmers. So that system came to be known as Mahalwari system. Britishers practiced this system, that is called the Mahalwari system, so that the village headman can collect the taxes instead of Jamindars. Jamindars, they exploited the poor peasants and farmers. Now this so that the appointed village headman, Jamindars' power and prestige. Moreover, these Jamindars, they were not interested in any progress of this land. They were not interested in the progress of it. They didn't do anything for the expansion of this agriculture. They did not do anything in expansion of the agriculture. They concentrated to collect money. They only concentrated to collect money from the peasants or the farmers. So, but this system, the Mahalwari system, the tribal leaders, or we can say that village headman, he had a connection with the people, so he collected taxes, and that will be given to the Britishers. So that system came to be known as Mahalwari system. Later on, Britishers, they understood that even the village headman also not going in the proper way. They understood that, so that they want to protect the riot. Riot means riot. Riot. Here it means that farmer, the peasant, or we can say farmer or peasants as a riot or raidu or riot. So these riots, they want to protect the riots. It means they want to protect the peasants. Who want to protect the Britishers want to protect the riots. Monroe, he gave more importance to protection of these peasants. The Britishers, they said that we are the paternal fathers of these riots or the peasants. We want to protect these peasants. We will act like a father to these peasants because we want to protect the peasants. Without protecting the peasants, the land of these communities may decline and they won't produce the crops. Peasants are very much required for growing crops, so that they said that we want to protect the peasants. That system later came to be known as Rayatwari system. What is the name of that system? That system came to be known as Rayatwari system. First, Jamindari system. Second, Mahalwari system. Next, Rayatwari system. Raidu or Rayat, they have given power. They want to protect. The Britishers said that we are came here to protect the Rayat or Rayotu or Raidu. So it means that the farmers should be protected. They were said we were the paternal fathers of this Rayot. So they said like that. So that land will be protected. That was the idea of the Britishers. Raidus are given powers. Later on, know that later on British, there are a lot of problems that happens to the farmers. What are the problems that faced by the farmers? The main problem is that farmers, they were asked to cultivate cash crops or commercial crops rather than food crops. Rather than food crops, they were asked to grow commercial crops. But this time, that is the problem. If they cultivate commercial crops, they cannot consume it because that is only for cash purpose, or we can say cash crops, commercial crops. So why Britishers forced them to do commercial crops rather than food crops? Because many industries were established in London or England. Many factories or many industries are established in Britain, so that they asked the farmers to grow these raw materials. Which are the raw materials? Cotton, jute and other things. They were asked to cultivate the cotton, jute and other kinds of crops like plantation crops like tea, coffee, jute. So they asked they asked them to cultivate these crops. But these crops we can call it as commercial crops. Why? Because this is only for the commercial purpose, not for their consumption. So that we can call it as commercial crops or cash crops. So Britishers forced these peasants to cultivate these commercial crops, so that they were forced to cultivate this land. When they cultivated this land, the food crops that they won't get sufficient food crops, that led to famine, severe famine that occurred in Bengal. You know that a severe famine that occurred in Bengal. So many people died due to famine, or we can say that due to poverty, extreme poverty. So many people died. So that was the farmers going to a critical situation in this time. That was a serious problem in that time. So in that time, you know, that was a serious problem. Another problem they faced was that the Britishers forced these farmers or the peasants to cultivate indigo. Why they forced these farmers to cultivate indigo? The main reason behind this that indigo had a great demand in European market. It can be used as coloring the cloth or dyeing the cloth. Dyeing the cloth or coloring the cloth, indigo had a great demand in Europe. Many designs, kalamkari, that was sari, that is a design that we can kalamkari design, and other designs that was developed during this time. So indigo was used for these kinds of indigo that was commonly used for these kinds of designs and other purpose, coloring and other things, blue coloring and other things. They used indigo. So Britishers forced the Indians to cultivate indigo in India. Why they didn't cultivate in England, and why they forced Indians to cultivate in India? Because in England the climate for indigo is not suitable, but in Indian climate is suitable for cotton as well as indigo. So Indian climate as well as Indian soil, that is good for the cultivation of these commercial crops. Britishers understood this situation and asked the peasants to cultivate these such crops, so that the peasants, they cultivated indigos in large areas of land. The price of indigo that rose up, and at that time this indigo had great demand all over Europe. So many countries they demand these, Italy, France and so many countries demand this indigo, and the price automatically, if demand increase, what will happen, sir? The price also will increase. You know that the price also automatically increase. So indigo cultivation, people also started cultivating crops, indigo cultivation. But the situation that worsened when these food crops are left, the food crops they didn't get sufficient food crops. That time situation changed. The food crops they didn't get food crops. That time situation changed. The people they were starving to death because of the lack of food crops. And here now what happens? Commercial crops that expanded. So many peasants are also engaged in these kinds of cultivation. Moreover, you know that indigos, first that plantation owners, they started this cultivation. They were called niche. That is called niche cultivation. Niche cultivation here means plantation owners they started this cultivation. Which cultivation? Indigo cultivation that was started by plantation owners. Plantation owners, they started this indigo cultivation. That is cultivation we can call as niche cultivation. That is niche cultivation or plantation owners. They started cultivation. So they get a huge profit from this indigo cultivation because indigo had great demand in European market. So that many European countries they want this indigo from India. India become a great supplier of indigo in that time. You know, indigo in India. Indigo become the great supplier. India become the great supplier. India become the great supplier of indigo in that time. Indigo in that time. Indigo becomes a great supplier. Indigo supplier. India become a great supplier of indigo in that time. You know it very well. So the indigo's demand increased and price increased. But later on, what happened? You know that the price of indigo that goes down. Later on, the price of indigo that goes down, so that they may face lot of problems. Next, you know that riot, the peasants, the Jamindars used even peasants also for cultivating the forest because from the Jamindars and the peasants or the farmers, they collect money from who collect money from peasants. When they were in need of money, they approached the Jamindars and collect money from the Jamindars so that they can't return the money. That time these Jamindars asked the peasants or forced or asked the peasants to cultivate indigo. So such cultivation also. So these owners of this land become the Jamindars and force the peasants to cultivate that land. That we can call it as Rayoti system. That is called the Rayoti. Rayoti here means the peasants were asked to cultivate or forced to cultivate this land for indigo, for the preparation of indigo. So that is peasants that were largely used by the Jamindars. So they utilized this and they utilized this situation and used the Jamindars to cultivate the crops. Next we want to say that there will be moreover they asked the cultivators, Indian cultivators were asked to sign the agreement. There will be a contract or agreement. The Indian peasants were asked to sign the agreement. When they borrow money from Jamindars, they were asked to sign the agreement. They were asked to sign the contract. So the poor peasants, they decided to contract or sign the agreement. Once they sign the agreement, in that agreement, suppose if they sign that agreement, they had to work for the Jamindars for indigo cultivation. But the problem they faced, later on there will be a great problem they faced. Which problem they faced? The main problem they faced, that was after the indigo cultivation, that land they can't use that land. The main reason behind is that after the cultivation, that is not suitable for rice cultivation. Fertility may use the land. Once the indigo cultivation, once we cultivate that indigo, definitely what will happen is that once we cultivate indigo, later on that land we can't use that land again, because that is not good for rice cultivation. Once we cultivate indigo, later what will happen is that land become barren and we can't cultivate it again. So that people they lose the land because they cultivated for profit. Some people they cultivated for profit. Even Jamindars forced the farmers to cultivate. Later on they decided to cultivate rice. That times they won't get rice because this land fertility lose. Once indigo cultivated, we cannot cultivate the rice again. So that the people there will be a great shortage of food materials. There will be a great shortage of food crops. That leads to poverty. That leads to poverty. That I hope that you understood the seriousness of this problem. So that people become violent and people were against the policies of Britishers. They were very angry because they won't get enough food, sufficient food at all. They were starving. So that people they started rebellion. That rebellion came to be known as Blue Rebellion. So many people, the peasants, they agreed or contract the sign and they cultivated the crops because whenever they were when they were in need of money, they approached zamindars as well as the planters of the land. Afterwards, they signed the treaty or agreement. As per the agreement, they want to cultivate the land. But the problem is that after the cultivation, they can't cultivate the food crops like rice. So they face a severe shortage of food items. So peoples, they were struggling to live. That time there will be a great rebellion happened. That rebellion came to be known as Blue Rebellion or Indigo Rebellion, because in sometimes may say like this, Indigo Rebellion or Blue Rebellion. What is Blue Rebellion? The blue color will be used in this indigo, from the indigo plants, from indigo plants that will be extracted blue color. The blue color is used for dyeing the clothes. The blue color is that is used for dyeing the clothes. But the Britishers understood that this price of this indigo that goes down, they find another products instead of, they want to find another products instead of indigo, so that they find the synthetic synthetic colors they use. Later on they use the synthetic colors rather than this indigo. Instead of this they use the synthetic colors. So but the farmers, they once they cultivated the indigo, they can't sell at low price, so they were goes to a severe critical situation. Farmers, so many plantations, the indigo farmers, they started the struggles. That struggle came to be known as Blue Rebellion. So these angry peasants, they destroyed the crops of the owners, plantation owners. They destroyed the crops of plantation. Angry peasants, they destroyed the crops of plantation owners, and they boycotted work also. They did not go and work. They boycotted work. They destroyed the plantations, especially indigo plantations, and the farmers become very violent. So that led to Blue Rebellion. This Blue Rebellion, that people, they were for the survival only they conducted this Blue Rebellion, because already they lost their job. The second thing is that food crops that was not cultivating now. So there will be a severe problem that happened now. So that there will be great rebellion that happened all over these areas, especially Bengal and Bihar. That these kinds of problems that happens. Due to this revolt, indigo production collapsed. Indigo production totally collapsed in Bengal, and but the planters now shifted their operation to Bihar. They started goes to Bengal, they goes to Bihar, and they started the cultivation with the discovery of synthetic dyes. When the synthetic dyes that was discovered in that times, that severely affected these business people, especially those who are engaged in this indigo cultivation. That will severely affect them in the 19th century. That was severely affect to the indigo cultivators, especially the businessmen. Why? Because synthetic was used, synthetic dye was used. When you know that Mahatma Gandhi also participated in this Champaran Satyagraha, or we can say that indigo cultivators, they started the rebellion that came to be known as Champaran Satyagraha. In that Mahatma Gandhi, he is from this Africa. When he returned from Africa, he went to Champaran and studied about the peoples and their problems related to indigo. So he visited Champaran and see the plight of the indigo cultivators there. Mahatma Gandhi's visit in 1917 marked the beginning of this Champaran movement against the indigo planters. You know that this Champaran movement, even Mahatma Gandhi also participated. He understood the difficulties of the people, of especially the peasants in the areas of Champaran. I hope that you understood all these things. Once again, I want to revise all these things. So first of all, you can in 1765, Mughal emperor gave the right that is called Diwani right. What right? Diwani right. So that due to this Diwali right, they got powers and privileges to collect the taxes, so that they got income from India itself rather than depending on their homeland. Later on, what happened? Britishers appointed Jamindars to collect the taxes. Jamindars, they collect the taxes, and they exploited the poor peasants. They kept some amount in their pocket and balance will be given to the Britishers. Britishers understood that the powers of Jamindars, that is increasing. The Britishers understood it. Later on, that system came to be known as Mahalwari system. Village headmans, they were appointed to collect a tax from the people. So why? Because village headman had always had a link with the peasants. So appointed this village headman to collect the taxes, that is going to be known as Mahalwari system. Later on, you know that Britishers understood that we have to give more importance to the peasants. That is called the Raitwari system. That is called the Raitwari system. In that Raitwari system, to protect the peasants of farmers. That is Raitwari system. That is called the Raitwari or Raitwari system. Then you know that what are the problems faced by the farmers? Farmers, especially the farmers, they earlier they did food crops. They cultivated food crops, but later on now things changed. They asked to cultivate commercial crops rather than food crops. So there will be a serious problem occur to the people because they did not get a sufficient food items. So that was the problem. Another reason is that after the indigo cultivation, they cannot cultivate a rice because the land become barren. The fertility may lose. People, they were struggling afterwards later. You know that other crops, once we cultivate, we can cultivate another crops. There is no problem. But once we cultivate the indigo crops, we can't cultivate food crops like rice and other things. I hope that you understood this. Next, Blue Rebellion. By this Blue Rebellion happens, the peace peoples, they were starved and they were going to die. That time they started the rebellion. That rebellion came to be known as Blue Rebellion or Indigo Rebellion. You know that this blue color from that indigos used for dyeing or coloring. For coloring this in blue is used. Moreover, European markets, this indigo had a great demand in the European market, so that the price of indigo that rose up, that goes at higher level. So that you know that it is that the price of that indigo that goes up, so that there will be a great demand of the indigo. So the even Jamindar started cultivation with the help of the peasants. Peasants, they borrow money from Jamindars, they are asked to cultivate. Moreover, the peasants were agreed for this agreement like this. They contract, they contract and put a signature in the contract. Also, they cultivate these kinds of crops. So later on, this blue rebellion happens. Due to this blue rebellion, what happens? The people, angered people, so these people, they become annoyed. So they started rebellion and they destroyed the crops. Blue, you know that indigo crops they destroyed and they boycotted their work. And some peoples they deserted from that place because of the fear that the Jamindars will ask money. So that some peoples they deserted from that place also. So deserted. Some people they deserted from the place, from the family, from family itself they deserted. Some members from family they deserted from place. Some places that the farmers they deserted that place. So there will be a critical stage, a critical situation that happened in India. This time, you know, these people are they getting only low wages. More working hours, they want to work from morning till evening, working in the fields, but they are getting low wages, they are not getting proper income, so that the people they were suffering. At first they think that they will get because the indigo's price increase, know that they think that they will get a high price, but later on the situation changed. You know that the situation changed, so that the price that falls down, that times to survive, to struggle, to live, that was very difficult for them. So this was the situation that happened in that time. So there will be huge massive strike that happens in Champaran and other areas. Even Mahatma Gandhi, when he returned from Africa, he visited Champaran in the year 19 1917, Mahatma Gandhi, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi, he visited Champaran and asked their problems, and he interfered the problems. He wanted to solve the problems. The Britishers also decided to settle their problems. Britishers, they want to solve the problems of these people of Champaran, the blue rebellion. They want to solve the problems of this blue rebellion. After that, you know that when this indigo was cultivated, there is no use of that land. After that, we cannot cultivate. No use. After that, we cannot we cannot cultivate the rice. You know it very well. So these are all the development that happened due to the these ruling the countryside. So what the Britishers forced the peoples? They forced the peoples to cultivate the commercial crops. You know, I hope that you understood all these things very well. You know, other than this, they cultivated many crops. Other than this, which are the crops Britishers forced them to cultivate? Jute in Bengal, tea that is in Assam, sugarcane concentrated by these places. These are the places suitable for these kinds of cultivation of these crops. You know that tea is cultivated large amount in Assam. That is, mountains are suitable for. So Assam, many mountains are there. These tea plantations are more in Assam. Jute, that is Bengal cultivated. Bengal is suitable for jute cultivation. So that British forced the Indians to cultivate jute. These are cash crops or commercial crops. Then sugar cane, that was suitable. The land in India, that is Uttar Pradesh, is suitable for the sugar cane. Ask the people to cultivate these commercial crops. Next, wheat. Wheat that was produced large amount of wheat that produced, that was in Punjab. Next, cotton that was cultivated in Maharashtra. Cotton that cultivated in Maharashtra. Cotton was largely cultivated in Maharashtra. Rice that was in Madras. Madras, the rice was largely cultivated. I hope that you understood all these things. You study well. I hope that you understood all these things. What is Diwani system? What is Mahalwari system? What is Rayatwari system? What are the problems faced by the indigo cultivation as well as the farmers? Then what is niche cultivation? Niche cultivation. What is Rayoti system? Next, what do you know about blue rebellion? What are the problems faced by this blue rebellion? So that I hope that you understood all these things. Thank you, children.